easiest way to do this is to pick a b as a prime number. So let's have b as 3 and a is an integer, that's a whole number, so let's have 2. So I've got 2 plus the square root of 4 lots of 3 over 2 plus the square root of 4 lots of 3. Oh, 2 minus. Let's put that in the calculator and see what we get. And I get negative 2 subtract root 3. 2 was my A and 3 was my B. So I've got negative A subtract root B. If I want to do it by algebra, I need to multiply top and bottom by, oops, confusing having the 4 on the inside. By A plus root 4b. So the top I need to expand by FOIL, so I get a squared plus a root 4b plus a root 4b plus 4b. And the bottom I get is a squared minus 4b. So I end up with a squared plus 2a root 4b plus 4b over a squared minus 4b. Square root of 4 is 2, so I've got a squared plus 4a root b plus 4b over a squared minus 4b. Does that match with my 2's and my 3's? So 2 squared plus 4 lots of 2 root 3 plus 4 lots of 3 over 2 squared minus 4 lots of 3 does give me the right answer. So that was obviously too simple. And the actual answer is this. Square root means it's to the power of a half, so I've got y over x to the power of half, then raised to the power negative 5. Power to a power is multiply, so I've got y over x to the power negative 5 over 2. And then negative tells me to flip the fraction upside down. So I get 5 over 2. So m is 5 over 2. I can work out this side first of all using the cosine rule, because that side is the other two sides squared and added together minus 2 lots of the product of those sides times the cosine of the angle. And the opposite of squaring is square root. then the sine rule tells me that the sine of x divided by its opposite side of 5.3 equals the sine of 110 divided by its opposite side of y. Opposite of divide is multiply. So I end up with sine x equals sine 110 over that answer multiplied by 5.3 is and the opposite of sine is shift sine. So x is 40.10. To three significant figures, 1, 2, 3. Next digit's a naught, so nothing changes. I can just write 40.1. The change is happening inside the bracket, so it's going to affect the x coordinates, and it's going to do the opposite to the x coordinates. So instead of halving, it's going to double them. So this point here has an x coordinate of 3. If I double 3, I get 6. This point has an x coordinate of 1. If I double it, I get 2. This point has an x coordinate of -1. If I double it, I get -2. Coordinate of 4, double to 8. Coordinate of -2, double to -4. So I'm going to have a curve like that. Oop, I missed my bottom part. X. A bit better. Again, it's inside the bracket, so we're looking at how the x coordinates have changed. So the one was at 3 is now at 0. So it's had 3 subtracted. This is the opposite, so we're going to have +3. X is greater than or equal to -3. Let's put in -3. What do we get? -9. So everything is going to be greater than -9. Inverse function. So we swap x's for y's and set it equal to x, and we're going to work out y. First thing we're going to do is write this in completed square form. Then I can add the 9. Square root and subtract 3. So it's the square root of x plus 9 subtract 3. So we're going to take 2 pieces of fruit, oranges or apples, probability of taking an orange is 4 out of n, probability of taking an apple well, there's n minus 4 apples over out of n pieces of fruit. Once I've taken an orange, there's only 3 left, and there's only n minus 1 oranges. All the apples are still there, just 1 less piece of fruit. If I pick an apple first, then all the oranges are there, and if I've taken 1 apple, there'll be 1 less apple, minus 1. The probability the bowl will then contain n minus 6 apples, so I must take 2 apples, is a third. So n minus 4 over n times n minus 5 over n minus 1 must equal 1/3. Multiplying fractions, we just multiply the tops, do FOIL, n squared minus 5n minus 4n plus 20. Multiply the bottom, n squared minus n. Simplify. To solve with fractions, I'm going to cross multiply. So 3 lots of the left-hand side is 1 times. Expand the brackets, I get and then moving everything to the left-hand side, I've got a quadratic equation where a is 2, b is negative 26 and c is 60. So n is, quadratic formulas, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, which is 10. If I change the plus to a minus, I've got 3. Now, there can't have been 3 apples to begin. There can't have been 3 fruits, because otherwise, because I know I've got 4 oranges. So the answer must be 10.